Paul encourages Timothy in 2 Timothy 2 verse 2. He says, "What you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also." Paul had passed the gospel on to Timothy, and Timothy is called to entrust this message to faithful men who will go on to teach others also. And I believe this is how we guard the gospel in our church communities. It's how we do it in Sunday schools and in youth groups. It's how we do it when we gather together as a community on Sundays. And I think it's what needs to happen amongst women in our women's studies and in one-to-one discipleships. I had the privilege of seeing this, having faithful women passing on the gospel to me, and it made such an impact on my life that I wanted to go to George Whitfield College to be able to grapple with God's word and go on and do the same, entrusted to reliable men who would teach it to others, or women in my case. I spent 4 years after college doing student ministry, 2 years in Cape Town, 2 years in Stellenbosch, and then we found ourselves in a church in Cape Town. I was partnering with my husband in student ministry and discipling many of the women, until we found ourselves in a new season, which was a season of motherhood for me. So my ministry would now look different. We were committed to being at home when our girls were very little, for me to be at home when our girls were very little. And we decided to find some kind of a secular employment which would bring in a bit of financial support, but also mean that I was able to be at home with our girls. 3 years ago, we found ourselves in yet another ministry season, moving to a new city and being part of a church plant. And suddenly finding that our youngest little girl was also off to school. So I had my mornings free, a community of people who needed somebody to come alongside and invest in them, and I thought, great, I'll get stuck into the women's ministry here. Which is something that I was able to do just for a short season. Started up some women's Bible studies and some discipleships, and now find myself in yet another season helping doing education with my children.